It has been a red day and a red week for the entire crypto market. The way we are looking at the crypto market is like 32% down this week, 40% down this week, another 30% down this week, right? The panic is here. You're watching that Bitcoin is now reaching a short-term level of support, which is kind of strong medium-term level. But if you actually break this particular level now, there really has a lot of room for fear, uncertainty, and panic to enter. This is the fear and greed index. We are still at the neutral range. We haven't actually gone to this range. Look at this. Last week, last month, we have been in this area. We didn't actually go into that layer of greed. We are still in the neutral phase. And if you actually observe where we have been, we've pushed ourselves to the upside a little bit. But we haven't actually reached a range of what we have seen in 2021. We're still doing slow grind to the upside. We're not actually trending to the downside. There is a massive difference in slowly trending to the downside and slowly trending to the upside. Right now, I think that this is slowly trending to the upside, which is actually a positive news. But if you actually remember what we discussed in yesterday's video, we talked about this scenario. If Binance Coin drops below this particular level, that was at 260 back then, I was saying, okay, we're going to see somewhere close to this level of the support, 200, 220, that range, and that would create panic selling in the market. Now, if you actually come and look at what the market did, it came down and touched 227, and we did see a lot of these assets getting screwed. So if you actually look at Matic, we actually had the thought process shared earlier in May, saying, okay, we may actually go down into this level of support zone. And here we are, the price is 0.6. So my thought process was like 0.68, that range, but the price went even lower. That is a support range the price should have held. Then you're looking at HEX. It is like 0.008 and it's down 40% for this week. We have actually shared this thought process earlier this year, saying, okay, if we are actually continuing this drop, we retest this range and get rejected, that means you have a long way to the downside, somewhere close to 0.006, and here we are getting close to that range. Now we actually look at Chili's. It's actually 0.06 here, and it kind of gives you the narrative of, yeah, the price has dropped 33% for the week, and Chili's shows you this one. Now, this was recent. 2 days back, I was saying like, okay, if we actually break this level of support, we are looking for 0.05, and here we are close to 0.06. So the price action has been showing us that this is possible, and I've been going through all these assets as much as possible to give you guys the right perspective of which asset is looking like what and how the market is reacting right now, because that, I think, is really important. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Everything is changing. The way we interact in terms of finance, money, it's changing. And they are literally talking about the programmable platforms for assets and information. So information, it's already programmed. Now it's the money, it's the assets, and they are trying to combine all of those into a common programmable platform, a unified ledger. So which is it going to be, where the interoperable layer is going to actually allow all these money to move around? Literally the internet of value. We know what it is. Now, if you are watching this channel for some time and you are taking time and getting value, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate that a lot. Now, going further, if you are actually a young US citizen, I would actually urge you to think about this. If you guys actually can decide where the country goes in terms of the technology, the adoption, the jobs, the investments, you should have your say. Now, going further, this particular tweet from Stuart actually gives you the idea that how wrong SEC is, or it's just the way they look. They are literally looking like they're hypocrites. There is no other way to actually define that. The way they act, what they do and all. Right? It kind of gives you the clear understanding that they actually gives you this. I'm not registering as a broker dealer. as securities exchange or an ATS because I'm not trading securities. Now they read through this, they allowed them to go in, and now they're saying, no, what you're doing is securities trading. That's not good. And on the other side, you actually see these assets, which are meme coins, which is right now being a commodity. And you see Filecoin, which is a kind of a fundamental asset, which is now getting kicked. Now, you need to understand it's not only about Filecoin. There are a lot of other assets, say Matic, which has been a strong project. And outside US, it still is a strong project, which is getting hit hard. So fundamentally speaking, yes, we see a lot of hypocrites, especially, when you actually watch these videos, you actually get the clear narrative that these guys don't even think that they are being hypocrites or they're acting that way. But look at this. They actually clearly highlight the possibility 30 meetings with SEC in like last 12 months. Great. And they actually delisted XRP so that, they obey the law and the laws on that their side and all. And further, when you listen to that, he goes on saying, if that asset has specific utility, that it is not a security. They knew XRP had utility. Send money across the borders virtually instantly using XRP or USDC. This was on their platform. And I'm like, so they do understand it clearly that this asset has a strong utility. So I literally don't understand which part of the word utility this guy does not understand with respect to XRP, right? So that's where these hypocrites are now getting hit hard with karma. But the issue is it's not only them being affected with this. It's the entire market. The entire market is paying the price. Now, coming back onto the technical side of things. Say the entire market is slow. XRP is down 10% for last 10, 15 days. But we need to understand we are also at a critical level of resistance. So on the technical side of things, if you are looking at this, you should actually go on thinking like, okay, we are at a resistance. We are slowly getting rejected. We're not actually getting a break to the upside. Now, it does make sense. The entire market is slow. The entire market is correcting back down. So it doesn't come as a surprise. We are still holding on close to the resistance, but we are not breaking that. We are now showing some weakness. So if that weakness is to persist, what are we looking further ahead? The first level of support should be somewhere close to 0.458, say somewhere close to 0.46. That happens to be this trend line support. So if you actually go on a daily, you'll see that clearly. Now, if you happen to break that, the next level of support comes in here, which is 0.41. Now, even at that point from the highs, XRP is only going to be 23% down. And during that phase, imagine how hard these assets in the top 100 is going to get hit. Because some of them are already 30% down. The average here looks like 28-30%. And if that's to continue further, when XRP is dropping, now you're going to literally look at them in a different way, saying they're down 70%. They're down 90%, because when you actually go into the return rates and you talk about all these assets on 30 days, this is scary, right? In last 30 days, HEX has been down 85%. The meme coin Pepe has been down 46%. Now we actually see a lot of these assets on average is down 30%, which itself is scary. Now we actually see all of them on the quarterly, on the yearly, and you're literally watching a lot of these assets being taken out of the market, in the sense the market cap is dropping substantially. If you actually look at them on the yearly time frame, you'll actually see most of them 50. Okay, they are kind of staying afloat, whereas some of them, which is actually about 75%, 80% down, they're having hard time in the market. Now, it's not only in the first 100. When you actually go further into the next 100, into the next 100, you're seeing the number of coins which are about 70% down is increasing. So that means a lot of these assets may not even exist in the market in next 2-3 years. So when you're opting to move into different assets, make sure you understand why you're buying that asset. If not, when the real fear actually enters the market, if Bitcoin breaks to the downside, that is going to be no-brainer. If Bitcoin is about to actually kick this range of support and show you that I'm dropping down, now that is going to create a lot more fear and panic than we have seen right now. Say, eventually we are actually going to talk about the short term. Say we are zooming in on what's happening here. We are watching that the price is trending lower, but the RSI is not. So that kind of shows you like, okay, someone thinks that this asset is kind of an opportunity, undervalued asset right now, or it's the assets itself, the crypto market getting screwed, and they believe that, okay, SEC kind of give you the idea, except Bitcoin, everything else is a security. So they now want to make sure they're not insider security, and they're jumping off all these meme coins and the other assets which they don't even know why they bought it into Bitcoin to create a safety net. But what I'm personally thinking here in this scenario is that if that is true, then we are almost at the end of the court case with respect to that of SEC and XRP. If the court decides that SEC lose this game, that means along with Bitcoin, now there is another name which is going to be XRP. That's where the utility, the money, new money, everything is going to come in, because XRP, now remember this, when we talk about XRP and say the fact that this asset is still holding on to the green numbers which we see here, up 17% for the month, up 40% for the year, that's when it has been delisted in a lot of exchanges, especially in the largest financial structure of the world, which is US. So once it gets relisted in those exchanges, that's when you are going to actually see a lot of people coming in, because all of those guys who are moving into Bitcoin does understand the fact that the upside in this asset compared to other assets like XRP is going to be much lower. Now, does this look like we are going higher? Yes, the trend does look like that. But that doesn't actually deny the fact that we may actually get further downside. We may actually see $24,000, $25,000 being touched with the panic levels, because we are getting some level of divergence. Right now, the price action shows you it's actually testing this level of support in the RSI. But if you actually look at the price, it shows you like this. So higher low being formed in the price, and the RSI showing you, nah, I'm not that bearish, right? So the things are actually changing a little bit. It kind of shows you a hidden divergence. This is the reality of the market, and I'm really, really thankful for a lot of you guys coming out and giving these kind words, especially during these hard times when we actually see all these assets getting hammered. I'm happy that I was able to give you guys the right thought process, especially about the recent Binance thing with respect to the BNB drop. And few members really took their portfolio to a different level, thinking, okay, if that drops, I'm going to be prepared. And most of them jumped into XRP, and right now it seems like that was a right decision to do, because if you are here in the top hundreds and you are looking at these coins, you're like, okay, some of these were thought as strong assets, but then down 25-30% for the week. Whereas XRP is down 10%. So it's far better if you actually look at the standard deviation from the range. We are on the other side of things, right? You have the meme coins dropping 50-60%. You have the Bitcoin dropping the least. So right now, XRP is somewhere close to that of Bitcoin. Say, Bitcoin has dropped 4% for the week, whereas XRP has only dropped 3, close to 3. So now on a weekly, XRP is far better than Bitcoin in terms of the resilience. So people are actually entering here, the money is staying here. That's important to understand. Now, being a guy who owns majority of my assets in XRP, if I say that's the only best asset in the market, that would be biased, right? And that's one of the reasons why we actually go through all of these assets individually, looking at the project, the fundamentals, and against the market, the psychology, what they are doing right now. And these actually give us a clear detail of where we are headed. Some of those agreed are going to come back higher. And some of those doesn't actually look like that, because we have actually seen like massive liquidations in the market happening. And this right now shows you how hard the market has been hit. And these kind of fluctuations actually create massive opportunities. If you're actually looking at a lot of these assets and you want to actually know where these assets are headed towards, you can actually look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. If you think you are about to get positioned well near the bottom of this garden age, maybe this is helpful for you. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.